So the question I've got for everyone just before we go is, has everyone used the toilet that needs it? Because once we get up there in the air, there's going to be no stopping to go for a quick, you know. And also we are carrying rather a lot of water, as we can see down here. And never mind that, but when that Bambi bucket gets going and we drop it everywhere, well, you could find yourself getting one or two urges. And I think this is a in-flight service announcement for gentlemen of a particular age as well. And when I look at the age profile of all of our subscribers, we are, many of us, in that age bracket. Nothing to be embarrassed about, but if things aren't all right with your waterworks, do get yourself checked out. I'll put a couple of links of what you need to watch out for in the comments section. Meanwhile, yeah, here we are. We are in the firefighter variant of the H145, and we're going to have a look at the missions that are available to us in the tablet. It's been absolutely great to work through this. Lots of improvements. You're able to start a fire so you can put one out, which sounds a bit suspicious to me. But also there are one or two set missions that you can take part in. And as I say, on the whole, things really, really improving in terms of content. This, I must say, is probably the variant with the missions that's going to challenge you the most. I mean, hovering in general is a challenge, but when it comes to extracting water using a Bambi bucket into something that's not much bigger than the size of a car, this will be a certain challenge for you. Very frustrating at times, but it will improve your flying in the sim. Welcome to the Flying Doctor channel. Let's geek into it. Greetings folks, Flying Doctor here now. We are towards the end of our final countdown, exploring the missions option within the H145. I've been really impressed by the development that I've seen. I thought it was worth showing you the guide, which confirms in fact what is working and what isn't working, what's clearly an addition and has got to be sort of mopped up, removed, lest it kind of creates more confusions. But we've got our map missions here. Where we've got transport, hospital transfer, but also CalFire Golden State Highway Fire and CalFire Hollywood Hills Beverly Hills Fire, which are obviously for the firefighter variants only. Now, these are called map missions because you click on the map nearby and you can launch the mission itself. There's another type of missions that we've found out about, the library missions. But you can see here we've got the rescue nearby road, Hems. We've done that. Nearby mountain accident on Hems. We've got nearby farmyard accident on Hems. We've tried that in another video before, no problems there. And we've got hospital to hospital patient transport, and then Hems variant only, yes, for that. Now, the rescue anywhere, you pick location. This says this mission assumes that you will take off and then fly to an accident site of your choosing. At that time you may land or select switch to hoisting. The crew will load a patient and you're expected to fly to a nearby hospital or otherwise suitable location to disembark the patient. Missions intended for use when no other missions are available, and also allows arbitrary use of the hoist. So I was trying to work this out by clicking on the map, and it simply says you fly to an accident site of your choosing. I hadn't done that. I hadn't gone and flown somewhere else away from my location and then clicked on rescue anywhere. I could try that later, but I struggle to make this option work. It's more than likely that I'm not doing something quite right. We should see we've got a landfill fire option coming up in the firefighter that we're about to look at. Interesting here because we did acknowledge within the Hems variant that we had the wind float medical evacuation and the oil rig medical evacuation, and a link to some files. And the files are alive and kicking here on flightsim.to. It's just we simply acknowledged we didn't have those, so we couldn't quite run those. And then beyond this, we've got the offshore nearby water rescue, which we managed to conduct safely. And then we had the cargo anywhere test. Again, that worked. Apart from that, you've got quick crew, walk around and connect to scenario editor. So we've generally got to do simply the the firefighter variants to look at those, clicking on the map and also going to the library. But beyond that, we will be looking at creating our own missions. I'm really excited about that, but I'm being quite disciplined at the moment because I'm wanting to make sure that I just get all of the mission options within the tablet or on the map covered first. So looking at our first mission, CalFire Golden State Highway Fire, we begin at Whiteman Airport, which is just here, and KWHP tells me to start here and follow the I-5 north and find a wildfire near the highway. Not quite sure whether this appears on the map before as I get it as an option or not. We'll have a look anyway. So I'll just click on that, set for departure, and off we go. Of course, we make sure that we are in the correct variant, so we are in the H145 firefighter. So here we are. Let's just jump right in. I've got the tablet in front of us. I'm just going to click on maps and missions, and I've just got the map. One of the things that I've spotted is that it seems to me that once again the manual's slightly out of sync with what's still available now on the tablet. Not able to see anything programmed in here. I can change the map orientation so it's facing north. Okay, so we're the wrong direction. We would want to be heading up here to the north somewhere. If I click anywhere here, I get a description of where I'm at. If I restart the aircraft, I can click anywhere and these options will appear. That's the first thing that I noticed, and that's not the same as what is in the manual. Even down, so unknown name there, unknown location there. Now I've lost it, now I've zoomed out. So something a bit buggy is going on here. But if I'm close enough into some areas, I can start a fire. So that's on this main screen zoomed in. Okay, so if I move the screen, can I do a fire? Yes. You can see the option there to say available mission, start fire here. Oh, but then it missed that bit. Is it a road? I think I'm clicking on a road. No, is that a road or near to a road? No. So anywhere on the map that I click, I'm just wondering if it could be that if I'm further out. Oh no, it is still spotting. It's a bit inconsistent, as you can see. Unknown name, open location. There we are, we're at that now. So we're struggling at this point to find that, but we did find earlier on. Yes. So it's a little bit buggy, but we are able to click anywhere and start a fire. And what I'm interested in doing therefore is to start a fire somewhere near where there's water. So how close can I get to here? It looks like there's some water there. That's pretty close to me. So can we start a fire nearby? Can we start one here? Yes. Start fire. A wildfire is threatening structures. Your job is to put out a fire as quickly as possible. Okay, and I've got a destination as well. Create a firefighting pool. Oh, that's a nice option. We can create one. Why don't we put one right next to the fire? No, how do I do that? No, is that just going to appear? Right, we'll remove that, just that notice. Can I create one? No? Okay, well, we'll see. There's a pool there anyway. It just says begin firefighting. Right, so I wasn't expecting that. I was looking at a specific mission, which actually appears in the library when we look at that. But let's just have a look here, and I'll fly, and we'll see where we're at. Don't forget, in terms of your settings, you don't need to do anything. I'm pretty sure up here it's indicating. You can see right at the top here, I've got this kind of a water indicator here, and I'm pretty convinced that the Bambi bucket is attached anyway to the aircraft itself. I don't think we'll see it from outside, but we might see it if we just raise the helicopter into the air. Let's see if it's got a bucket attached. Yes, it has. It's going through the runway. There we are. So we've got a Bambi bucket already, and we just need to fly on. Okay, and I can see that we've got a pool down there. Obviously, just bear with me. I'll alert you when we're close by. Curious here, as we fly close by, we've just got a lot of smoke. Can't actually see where the fire is, but there's our pool just to the right here. Bucket's underneath us. It does feel slightly unstable to fly with the bucket. I'm just looking to reduce speed because I know that's not a good idea to. And up again. Has that got water in it? Well, it looks like it's got some water in it yet. Now, the thing is, I can't see a thing here. I've no idea. This is interesting. No idea what I'm chucking on the where. I want to see if I can get a look around. Not experienced this before, such a big plume. Where is the fire? That should have deployed the bucket. There we are. It's getting deployed. Do we need a second one? Yeah. I'm not sure we do. It says score 496, total 496. Can you see that there? Okay, let's try a second load. My feeling on this is, because I've seen it come out as a stream now, just strafe the area as soon as you're over it with water. There we are, mission complete. Hooray! There we are. So it's possible to find, just to fly a mission merely by clicking on the map. Let's go and find somewhere to land then. Okay, so we submit the report. Okay, so what I'm looking at now is when I'm on the ground, do I need to be on the ground to pick a target? It shouldn't make any difference, but so yeah, little bit before, so picking a target was easier, maybe closer up even, maybe it's something like that. No. So yeah, a little bit buggy on this. My guess is if I restart at the airport, it'll be fine. I'll check that for you. So I'm going to restart now. If that's restart the mission. Okay. Okay, so I'm back in Sim again. We're all switched on. Let's just go to maps and missions. So my thought is, if I now click on this area, now I've reset the aircraft, will it allow me to do it again? Yes, it will. So in other words, a little bit, it's not quite resetting itself. You need to reset it with the aircraft, but it will give you simply a start fire here, simple mission, which is pretty good as a start. The manual's catching up. If we look to the manual, you'll see here, particularly, you see this reference here to what we should be seeing in terms of tablet options on the map. So map and library here being separate, but this is a work in progress, and I think a good start. At least you've got a workaround if things aren't operating for you. Okay, let's move on to CalFire Golden State Highway Fire. It says begin at Whiteman Airport, where we are. Follow the I-5 north and find a wildfire near the highway. Should be tankers there. So here we are back on our map, and I'm looking to go into the CalFire Golden State Highway Fire. Begins at this airport, KWHP. Says follow the I-5 north. Well, we'll put the map in northerly direction. Now when you've got the N there, that's saying the map is in north. Okay, you're not clicking it to get to north. That is north at the moment, and I'm able to tell because the titles are, you know, readable. They're not upside down. So yeah, a little hint for you. If it's saying N, it means the map is orientated north. Okay, now we are looking at following the I-5 north. The only trouble is I struggled to find where this was, and I think it's around here, somewhere beyond here, but usually there should be, you know, some kind of fire. I would hope for some kind of fire logo, but there's nothing there. But I can't necessarily find a pre-designed fire to navigate to. So go to Mission Library, click on HPG Missions Firefighting, and we actually find that CalFire is there, Santa Clarita Golden State Freeway Wildfire. So click on that and click on to close the tab, and yes, we do have quite clearly a fire logo, and then seconds later we have got some direction to head in. And so we will do that in the usual fashion. I'll just shift out there, and it's quite easy for me to see it anyway on the tablet. In fact, it's easier on the tablet, but we'll switch these across, kind of matter of habit. So up we go. Interesting addition here as we approach, and it does say something SA14 truck, so I think it's indicating there's a truck nearby. Now the thing that I'm slightly more concerned about here is it's easy enough to find a reservoir and lower yourself to make sure the Bambi bucket is covered. Less confident when it comes to whatever is available here to extinguish a fire. If it involves, you know, having basically a little swimming pool reservoir, then I'm slightly concerned at that prospect. But basically we've got a whole side of the embankment on fire. Oh, I can see some fire trucks here. What I can't see is anywhere where I can fill up on water. Unless I'm missing something. Gonna land anyway. Anywhere I can get water from around here? Ah, there's a pool there. Missed that easily. And up we go. There we go, up we go here. That should have done the trick, I reckon. There we go, return to base. I wonder if we need to put the engines to idle. It might be that the engines need to go to idle and that notice has just not gone off. Let's try that. No, okay. But we have managed to fly that mission. Okay, I'm going to bring us back to full power again before I forget, and let's have a look at the next one then. Okay. Okay, so we go to the mission library, abort this mission, take it's done, go back to Firefighter. We've got, we've had start fire here on the map, Landfill fire. We can try that. I'm not minded to try any of these. Well, I will try landfill fires because it should pick something up locally. A nearby landfill has caught fire. Air support has been requested in order to put the fire out more quickly due to hazardous material concerns. Have we got a direction to that? Yes, we do. What I'm really interested now is to see, because we've got the general principle right, we've seen it work with other missions, and I'm assuming this is going to work. But just to see what the landfill fire looks like. It does say that its scenario lacks a little realism, but you'll often find a pond close by to try and solve the problem. So that'll be interesting. Okay, so let's just go up it in the air and look at this then. Okay, we can see the fire there. I can see the centre of the fire there, I think, quite clearly. I just need to find some water around. Okay, folks, I think I'm going to abort this. I've had a good play about with it. I think it would work, and I think it is a really good test. But it's the distance from the places where I can find water that's causing me some kind of problem. But I do think it will work. I think you might have to reset it in certain places though. So yeah, that is the landfill fire. It says it could be a fun training exercise. Well, for me, not quite sure it's fun, but it was good. Yeah, it was definitely good. But score 73, total 141. So I'll have to dash off and get some other water from somewhere else. Is that a river there I've missed? I think it probably is. Anyway, I'm going to adapt. I'm going to sort of say thanks, but no thanks to this as we exceed speeds and all kinds of stuff. So let me just set this down somewhere, and we'll have a final. We'll have a final summary. I've seen enough, and I'm really quite impressed, to be honest. The only thing about the missions that are in the library, well, we've obviously got this difference between missions according to the manual being available on the map. Click on the map. We've had that sort of slight difficulty there, but they are in the library. The only thing I would say of the last two missions is that you can do them, but there's no record of them in the Hype Operation Centre, which we'll come to later. But for the meantime, I'm just going to land this. Okay, let's just have a quick look then. Final, just to review where we're at. Okay, I'm going to abort there. But so missions firefighter. So we've looked at CalFire, both of those. Start fire here. We've looked at that. We've not looked at world fire. We have looked at landfill fire, nearby fire, and world fire. So I think these are forest fire France. And I'm not sure about this one, where that is from. In fact, when I tried, because there's a recommendation of where to go in the manual to look up where the fires are, and one of the links wasn't working. But I think forest fire here was in France. I think that would take you to France. Be interested to see whether that will go anywhere from here. Okay, I thought I'd go back and have a look at these real world fires. Now we've got two data sources here, and I've had another check, and yes, that the nwcg.gov site is not working. And if we move over here, you can see that was one of two sites available. The other one is Forest Fire Maps France. That one is working. So if I just sort of demonstrate that, so the top one is here, just get a forbidden. So, and then the site that was Forest Fires in France is alive and active. You can pop it into Google Translate here, and you'll come out with a current fire map of real-time fires. Now this is important because having reread, always good to read the manual, having reread, it says fly to the fire icons, and within 20 nautical miles you'll be able to enter mission to begin. The scenario is the same as the landfill fire, but from real world data. So we're going to have a look at that. So moving across here and just looking at the current fire map, I thought, well, let's have a look and see what we've got. This is a bit clunky, but I'm able to zoom in. If I click on real-time fires, there we are. I can zoom in here. Important thing is the red dots here. If I zoom right in, unfortunately the size of the dots doesn't change, but the red dots are where there's a real-time fire, and I'm wondering whether it's that's updating itself in the sim so that we can take a look from there. But most importantly, I've managed to find somewhere near Bezier, and that will allow us to find a real-time fire nearby. Bezier is west of Montpellier in the south of France, and I'm aware that there is a fire nearby. So let's just see if we can find. There's Bezier there, just right close here. Okay, I'm wondering if we're going to get the map updating a little bit more. No, we're not. Just taking its time as one map replaces over another. Okay, and you can see if there's Bezier, you can see that there is a red dot just north of Bezier here. I don't know where that is, but it's right here. So hopefully if we can land somewhere near there, or we can use an airport somewhere near there, we may well be able to locate the fire close by. So I'm going to switch across now to the main sim, and we've got Bezier here, and if I zoom out, I'm really looking for an airport close by. We've got something to the west of Bezier there, Well, let's just go here and see what happens. Bezier Airport. I'll fly from there. I thought, is this going to be impossible to see? But there you go. I'll circle there. So there's Bezier down here. And our fire is up here. And I've got no idea of scale at the moment. My guess is that we're going to be well outside the scale. But we can still try flying there and just see what happens. Okay, Bezier Airport there. Obviously, expected it to be pretty rural. Well, okay, this is looking quite interesting. So here we are. I'm based at the airport here, and you can see I'm surrounded by lots of little fires. Now, I don't know whether these are previous fires that have gone on. It sort of seems to me that's heading right up to Toulouse, but there's loads of them everywhere. So perhaps this is previous places where there have been fires. But nonetheless, happy to click on the map and see what happens. This took ages to find, and an abject lesson in using all of the resources to your hand. The thing that I'd forgotten to do is orientate my map to the north, which made it even more confusing. I mentioned that last time. N means that the map is pointing to the north. If you get the circle with the pointer in it, it means that it's focused on the direction that the helicopter is heading in or is situated on the ground. So that caused me a lot of problems to start off with. So memory and map orientation. Also, map layers were really useful here. I'm looking at vector, but topograph was really useful as well. And the topographic map, as you move in, allows you to see a lot more information. But basically, the combination of those two allowed me to see Bezier here, Bezier, I suspect, and then you've got the fire here that's being pointed to that I was looking for on the map is between a triangle formed by 3 roads. And I cannot pronounce this. Cause Veyron, sorry if you're French, C-U-A-U-S-S-E-S, Veyron, V-A-Y-R-A-N is in the middle here. Okay, there it is. And we've got Bezier now. And if you look at the road network, just looking here on, this is on Google Maps. I think it's Google Maps. I'm not sure. But Bezier here, there's a road here. That's the one there going roughly, that's northwest. Then east northeast, east southeast here. No, that's east northeast, isn't it, up there? And then down here, kind of a more southerly track. And right in the middle is this reported fire that's coming off the French website here. And that matches, that matches the fire that we have appearing here. So we have got the data matching really well. Okay, there we are. And so that's where we're going to, and if we click on here, we should get a World Fire Mission. Let's see what happens there. My job is to put out the fire as quickly as possible. There we are. And we have the option to create a firefighting pool, which we will do. But also there's a river running here, so we can have a look at that. So let's just remove the POI off here and see what happens. Okay, so as in usual fashion, off the ground. Oh, that's our firefighting pool. We've got the choice to go all the way back to here, should we wish it. How many miles is it across to that? 10.5 nautical miles. So that's not too bad, actually, but I'd rather not. I think I'll see if I can find some water nearby. So up we go here. There we go, and let's fly along to there. If you're wondering what's going along here, I've just adapted to, the time was correct, but today's weather. Okay, let's just pull that off then. And we'll just come around. Slow ourselves down first because we're way too fast. Going to just make sure the Bambi bucket's in place. There we go, see a little icon there. Just up there telling me that the bucket's in place. There we are. Okay, we have some water. I'm going to try. I haven't really looked up what's the technique for proper firefighting using a Bambi bucket in a helicopter, but typically I've seen obviously people flying over the area rather than sitting over it, suffocating under hot air and poor conditions. So I'm going to try this at 40 knots at the moment. Be ready with my 600, 500 foot. Let go of that now. And come put power on here. I don't know how we did then. 23. Total 35. So I'm not quite sure. I'm tempted here to keep this going. I'll wait for the flame to enter and just appear in the footwell. There we go, power on. So I'm a bit lost as to when the firefighting's over. Fire is still there. This has taken a good amount of time, and it's been really pleasurable to kind of pick out a route, become familiar with the scenery, where the water is. Actually really enjoying the process of just picking the water up. Slowly getting more and more confident doing that. Questioning myself how fast that you can go with the Bambi bucket attached. That's one thing that isn't realistic, I think, but I can work on that later. I'm going to give this one more go. Got a naught there, totally missed that. Okay, well, I'm going to probably quit there. I really enjoyed this, but the one thing is it's not clear when I've finished the actual firefighting mission. Probably it might require, you know, a lot more attempts on target. It's something I'll happily persevere with, and but good to see we can actually get a real life location. So yeah, quite impressed really. I know we need to remember this is almost like an open community project with the sort of the kind of boundaries of this for what's possible just laid out by H145 and other folks in the community kind of committing to it and helping develop their own missions. I'm more and more excited by what's possible with a custom mission, but we'll come to that later for another video. In the meantime, yeah, been really good. Take care and stay safe, folks.